So the NMAT, it's that first huge hurdle on your way to med school. And yeah, right now it might feel like a total mountain. But what if you had a map? Well, that's exactly what this is. In the next few minutes, we're going to give you a strategic guide to not just face this test, but to absolutely crush it. You ready? Let's dive in.
Are you feeling totally buried under all the NMAT prep material? Yeah, I get it. You are definitely not alone. It's a completely normal feeling. But our goal here is to take all that anxiety and flip it into a super clear, actionable plan. We're going to break this whole thing down piece by piece. Okay, here's how we're going to tackle this. It's a simple 5-part plan. We'll start with the big picture, then we'll dive deep into strategies for the verbal, the inductive, and the quantitative sections. And to wrap it all up, we'll build a universal game plan you can use on test day. All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, Cracking the NMAT Aptitude. Look, before we get into the nitty-gritty of specific subjects, we've got to talk big picture. See, the real key to this test, it isn't just about what's in your head. It's all about how you approach the exam. It is 100% about strategy. Now for our first deep dive, Section 2, Verbal Section Strategies. This part is really where your prep work meets your exam day tactics. Success here is all about building up those skills beforehand and then being super smart with your time when the clock is ticking.
So, long before you even walk into that testing center, you want to focus your prep on 2 main things. First up, vocabulary. You got to broaden it, get really comfortable with synonyms and antonyms. And second, when you're practicing reading, you need to train your brain to just cut through all the noise and pull out only the most important details. Seriously, don't get lost in the fluff.
Okay, listen up, because this is a total game changer for exam day. Ready? Always, and I mean always, read the questions before you read the passage. It's such a simple switch, but it primes your brain to hunt for specific info. You'll find answers so much faster. You might even find questions you can answer without reading the whole text. Talk about a time saver. All right, let's tackle those sections that, let's be honest, can feel kind of weird and abstract. I'm talking about inductive reasoning and perceptual acuity. The thing is, these parts of the test aren't really about stuff you memorize. They're all about spotting patterns and having the right technique. So I've got this awesome, super low-tech trick for you. It sounds a little weird, but trust me, it works. Bring 4 small, identical things with you, like little candies or tiny erasers. When you get one of those visual pattern questions, physically use them to cover up the options you've already eliminated. This literally clears your vision so you can focus only on the real possibilities. It's a simple move, but man, it can make a massive difference in your speed and accuracy. So what's the big takeaway here? It's simple, but it is so crucial. Practice is everything for these sections. It's not about cramming, it's about training your brain to see those patterns without even thinking about it. A high score, heck, even a perfect score, is totally achievable, but it's earned through repetition. Next up, the quantitative section. I know, for a lot of people, this is the most intimidating part of the NMAT. But listen, I promise you, a great score is 100% within your reach if you focus your review on the right concepts and problem types.
And here's the good news. You do not need to master all of math. It's about focusing your energy where it's going to count the most. Get really solid on these core concepts: College Algebra, laws of exponents, radicals, and fractions. Seriously, mastering these fundamentals is the foundation for almost every quantitative question that's going to come your way.
Once you have those fundamentals locked down, it's all about pattern recognition. See, the NMAT really loves certain kinds of word problems. You're going to see stuff about age, money, time, and for sure, percent increase or decrease. If you practice these specific formats, you'll stop seeing them as complex stories and start seeing them as simple equations in disguise. Okay, here's a major pro tip just for the data interpretation questions. You are going to be staring at some big, messy numbers. But here's the secret. The test makers do not expect you to do perfect, precise calculations. No way. The key is to get good at estimating. Rounding numbers to get a close enough answer is way faster, and it's usually all you need to do to spot the right option.
Okay, we've broken down the individual sections. Now it's time to zoom out and build the master plan that ties it all together. This is your universal game plan for peak performance on exam day.
Now this right here, this is your golden ticket. You need to get the official practice test from the Center for Educational Measurement, or CEM. They're the ones who actually run the test. Why is this so important? Because the format, the question types, and the topics are nearly identical to the real thing. Practicing with this isn't just a good idea, it is absolutely essential.
You need to walk into that test with a personal plan of attack. Know your strengths and your weaknesses. The strategy is simple. Attack your easy sections first and just blast through them as quickly as possible. This banks valuable time that you can then spend on the harder subjects that need more of your brain power.
This might be the single most important rule of the whole day. Do not get stuck. Do not waste time spinning your wheels on one difficult question. Every question is worth the exact same. If you don't know it, make your best guess or mark it and move on immediately. You can always come back if you have time at the end. The goal is to answer as many questions correctly as possible, not to solve every single one.
So what happens when you have to guess? Well, you don't just guess randomly, you guess smart. First, eliminate the options you know are wrong. Get them out of there. Even if you can only eliminate 2 choices, your odds of guessing correctly jump to a whopping 50%.
I mean, just think about that for a second. When you're down to 2 choices, it's a simple coin flip. And a 50-50 shot is so much better than the 1 in 4 or 1 in 5 chance you started with. This turns guessing from a desperate hope into a calculated, strategic risk.
So when you boil it all down, what's the ultimate key to your best NMAT score? It's understanding that this isn't just a test of knowledge, it's a test of strategy. By combining solid prep with the smart tactics we've covered, you're not just taking a test, you're playing a game and you're playing to win. The only question left is, what's your game plan gonna be?